Watch the last inning of the 1960 World Series and enjoy it. After that, we're going to have question and answer and a final door prize to the
Rocky Nelson takes the pitch that comes in 2-0 for the ball. Early takes his time, then with a count of 2-1. Rocky rises to the next pitch and pulls the ball to right field. Meadows retreats the wall, but it's a main effort. Gives a powerful drive high over the screen for a home run. everything. I know the great Yankees, and I was a Yankee hater way back because I was a Cleveland Indian fan all my life, and I hated the Yankees, and we put the black cat in front of these guys when they went out and played the Cleveland Indians and everything. But I hated the Yankees very much, but they were great. And when we come off the field, I said, there ain't no way we're going to win this ball game. I just know we're not going to win it. Now since they tied it up, and I was about as down as Smitty was, and everybody whose head was down. Of course, I didn't. Well, I could say that I knew I was going to hit a home run. I went up there to do that, but I didn't. I just went up there to try to get on base, and I got lucky. That's about all.
This is Pittsburgh, where the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers join to form the Golden Triangle. Pittsburgh, famed for its steel mills and the shimmering glow of its blast furnaces. Pittsburgh that in 1960 gained new distinction, for the Pirates won their first pennant in 33 years. And they faced the same World Series foe they encountered back in 1927, the fabled New York Yankees. The Bombers again are favored as we open that historic Forbes Field that once was the stamping grounds of the immortal Honus Wagner. Typewriters already are clicking in the press box. The rival managers are the hardy perennial Casey Stengel of the Yankees. In 12 years with the Bombers, old Case has now made the series 10 times. And here's Danny Murtaugh of Pittsburgh, who's a newcomer to these fall classics. On hand early is Ford Frick, commissioner of baseball, who's the supreme authority in the conduct of the World Series. Vern Law, 20-game winner, opens for Pittsburgh. Art Ditmar, who tops Stengel's staff with 15 victories, goes for the Yankees. The umpires are ready for the call to play ball, but first there's the traditional national anthem. The Pirates take the field, and the first game of the series is underway.
We have questions and answer session here for about some 10 minutes or so. And if you have any questions you want to ask these gentlemen, why?
For another long opposite field drive, it's a home run to the right field stand. That's the second home of the series for them. After Richardson opens, the Yankees next with a single. Tony Kubek walks. Murtaugh has a long conference with Law. And he finally decides that a change is in order, sending out a signal for Mr. Wolf and LOP.
What were your thoughts after watching a sixth?
I just said to myself, oh no, not again, man. We can't do this. We can't let it go on. But the umpire was, was good to me that inning. I think the guy at first base was safe, but he called a double play when Holt tagged the bag and threw on over the first. Got me out of the end.
Yeah.
From then on, it was, a pretty good ball game.
It's a great game.
Pitching 12 perfect innings and losing the game the 13th, how he felt.
The day at the office when you're real tired, you're not, you just go home and sit down. Only I couldn't go to sit down in the hotel room the phone kept ringing. I think a fellow named Bobby Smith, my roommate at that time, I told him, I said, come on, let's go walk in the street. I said, you get fined? I said, I got your fine too. Being out after curfew. We walk the streets and they'll walk the streets.
And after a brief huddle, he calls upon Harvey Haddock. But when the lefty doesn't work off in relief, so there's a long winter ahead of the rest.
Facing Mantle in that situation, it almost seemed like a base hit was kind of a relief where you start to think that this might get away from you a little bit and fearing a home run.
It wasn't tough at that time. The toughest time is when I walked onto that mound. The replay spot. The hair was standing up on the back of my head. I'm not lying, it's true. The only time in my life I ever got nervous because there was $8,000 right for each one of us. And I realized with each pitch that I threw, it could drop window. So I was nervous. I don't know when you noticed on the screen there or not, but I did a lot of kicking around out there, about 5 minutes worth. It was to get rid of the nervousness. I knew I couldn't pitch the way I was. I finally got rid of the nervousness. I looked up. Well, first there was Mara standing there. Just like that. Man, No, Barrett, male, I think, Barrett and Stalin. All looking at me. I was scared. But I just kept telling myself, I said, you can't be nervous. So I just stayed out there, I cussed myself, I laughed at myself, I did everything. We finally whipped it and I started pitching. So it went out. They hit, I think I threw 4 pitches that inning. If I remember right, I'm not mistaken, for the whole inning, 4 pitches, they hit every waste hit I threw. Does that answer your question?
And then Bill Burton blocked the ground ball short, like an easy double play ball. That time is too late. It's up on the net. Richardson comes over to get him a. It's a bad break for Tony and the Yankees.
I think you got to look back at the whole 1966, 7th, 8th inning that we come back and won. And I don't think there was a man on that club that felt like we were beat in the 8th inning or 7th inning or 6th inning when we were behind. We felt like we had a chance to win, and it turned out we did win. And we won every game and got an out and got a run every time we needed it in 1960.
I've known Bob since I was just a boy, and he was working with Rosie Rosewell. Bob Prince, I think to all of us, was something very, very special. There's no way anyone could have lived in the city of Pittsburgh or played in Pittsburgh and not known all the wonderful things Bob Prince did. Yes, he was the voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates. But Bob Prince, for years and years and years, gave money, gave up his time, his effort, put himself in debt. I remember when the Children's Hospital put on a basketball game and Bob owned UHF. They sold out the field house. Duquesne and Floyd Belvoir played, and Bob ended up putting it on television and donated the money to Children's Hospital. And of course, like a lot of things Bob got into, the station went bankrupt. But he was just a very, very special person, and I say this with all sincerity, and I think these guys would agree with me that have been around the Pirate organization. It was an unbelievably bad mistake when KDKA and the Pirates let Bob Prince go, because it hurt attendance, it hurt the Pirates for many, many years. And I think he'll always be somebody so special to anybody that ever played or knew Bob Prince.
So I did an imitation of him, and the old man Billy started to laugh, to roll a little bit. He started laughing. He says, "Wow, you just praised." He says, "That's pretty good. Where did you learn that?" "Oh, I said, I've been in the organization for about 10 years, and of course I haven't taken any money out of it." He said, "No, you won't."
About this 1960 team, this is the best bunch of guys I ever played with, and I played for a long, long time.
You know, Chuck Beanie was on the radio. He's a good friend of all us ball players, and he's retired now. But he was on the radio just here a couple weeks ago on an interview, and they talk about the 1960 Yankee team being a great Yankee team. But in the 4 games that the Pirates won, well, the 3 games the Yankees won, the Pirates were just blown out of it. We didn't have a chance to win. And a great Yankee team, all 4 games were up for grabs. From the 7th inning on, the Pirates won all 4 of them. The Yankees didn't win 1 of them. So that shows how great this team right here was. To thank J. Paul Sports Incorporated for giving this big baseball team a chance once again to get back together. This was a very special ball club, as Elroy and everyone else has said. Plus the fact that we're not getting any younger, and this is a very special time for all of us. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all you fans who are here, and certainly the wives of our girls who are seeing and the players, as we don't see each other that often anymore. And if it weren't for events such as this, and you people who put it on, we wouldn't have the opportunity once again to reminisce and brag about all the things that we were fortunate enough and able to do in 1960. God bless you, and thanks. And guys, it's been great being with the best baseball team the world's ever seen.
Okay, we got one more. We got Carter here. Okay, right there. I got a letter from a chaplain. He's a major in Japan. He said, you know, you do a good broadcast. Your broadcasts are good, but you know, you're so partial to Pittsburgh. You should be a little bit more objective. I sent him a letter back and said, you know, I don't know anybody in Japan that's drinking Iron City beer, I'll tell you that. And my loyalty is to Pittsburgh, and that's where it's coming. Unless you lived in this area in 1960, you have no understanding of the impact the 1960 team had on this entire community in the tri-state area. They were thirsty for winners. Nobody has won here since 1927, when the Pirates won the National Pennant and were knocked off 4 straight games by the Yankees. They won in such a fashion with late-inning home runs come from behind as their trademark. And I can remember Bob Skinner hitting a home run in early April, which kind of set the tone for it in the 9th inning. Freddie Hutchinson was the manager, and he got so damn mad he went to tore up the clubhouse because they lost the game they should have won. But I'm sure this team made a lot of managers tear up clubhouses because that was their trademark. They owned the last 3 innings of every game. They knew it, and the teams they were playing knew it too. That's kind of a magic. Lenny Lee, Lenny Housen, 495. He remembered. He knew how to hit Mickey Vernon. Pirates triple. Earl Francis, who still lives in Pittsburgh and cuts meat for giant meat. Earl's wife, Marie, is here. George Red. What the hell? He's a school teacher. That's why he had a good vocabulary. His wife, that's about the best I can say about it. Bob Holtis. Bob. In the minor leagues. Bill Bird used to always say, you can tell guys because those are flukes, right, Fred? Freddie Green. The Pirates, Gene Baker. See? The Pirates, Joe Christopher. Joe. Let's say he was on those famous Dodger teams in the 50s with Robinson, Campanella, Reese. Tough lineup to get through, I'll tell you that. Sent him a telegram and said, Judas Priest, you're good. And if you don't know about Judas Priest, Branch Rickey was the guy that started him, and it is Clem Levine. Clem finished the 60th season with a 3 Schofield. Ducky. Pinch hitting records. I know he's tried to get him out was a successful leader. He's a great left-handed hitter, Smokey Burgess. Because the Pirates in '60 had depth there. The only similarity there, they're all catchers. Al Smith. This guy spent a lot of time in the minor leagues as an MVP and they did. Big story. Only pitcher to throw a major league no-hitter for 12 perfect innings rather. He won the big guy, Harvey Hicks. Interviewing people, I was asking them before the series started, who do you think the league and the order for me it would be 90? That was that cheap ballpark in Sportsman Park. Only health 60. A great guy to have around too, Bob Skinner. Talking about that, he's White Jones. And the owner of 197 National League victories and a 22-game winner in 1958, Bob Skinner. With the Zipper Club, we all had open heart surgery, so we relate to them. Chuck Dan. Who else will we get into this club? His wife, Pat, is here. And he developed the forkball because Joe Page was with us in spring training in '54. Always had a great fastball. But this pitch set him up to become the greatest relief pitcher in modern day at that time. And that, you should be in the Hall of Fame with another chubby guy that's waiting down the lobby with you. Delroy Page. And I do know how many saves Glad to know him as a good, close personal friend and brother-in-law. And his lovely wife, Anita. The captain of the Pirates, winner of the 60 batting title, the MVP, Dick Crook. That passed away this past year. We're sorry that's the loss of work. Celebrity status comes to this guy simply because of one game. He played 17 years, 2,163 games, most double plays in the season, 161, most chances lifetime by a second baseman, most double plays by a second baseman, most games lifetime by a second baseman, most assists lifetime by a second baseman. He made only 203 errors in 17 years with 11,000 chances. You go out in your backyard and throw with your kid, and you're going to drop 10 of those 20, and that's what he's known for, is this. What the hell is that? That was one game. Anybody can get one game, but the hardest thing about this game is grinding out 17 years and doing what this guy did for 17 years. He belongs in the Hall of Fame just because of that. And let me introduce his... After that, I remember hanging around the locker room. I was just starting working for a little radio station. Bill Burton didn't do much drinking, but they had champagne after that seventh game, and they stuck about 3 bottles in his locker. And everybody had cleared out, and the dog was still there, and the quail were still in the locker room. And Bill said to me, he says, "Do you want to take a shower with me?" I said, "I'm that kind of a guy, Quail." He says, "I'm afraid I'm going to fall on my ass." I had too much champagne, so I took a shower. That's a true story. That's a true story. I told people that was the only record I had in the major leagues. I opened up more cakes of life for than anybody in the National League in 1957. I showered by myself so much I couldn't shower in a group anymore.
I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you because, just because. One was when you left me. I never knew that I could hurt this way. Heartache number 2 was when you come back again. You came back and never meant to stay. Now I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, I know that I can't win, but the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. And to me, and then you say hello. I could hardly speak, my heart was beating so, and anyone could tell. You think you know me well, you don't know me. No, you don't know the one who dreams of you each night, who longs to hold your hand, who longs to kiss you tight, to never, never know the one who loves you so. No, you don't know me. Over the head, have fun, come along with me. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How about cooking something up with me?